create your first cloud resource. How many of you heard about cloud? A lot of people will be saying like cloud resource, cloud technology, cloud computing, etc. It's like hearing about, driving a car, for example, if you take. How many of you know how to drive a car here? How to drive a car? Okay, good. Now, if I take you a lesson on how to drive a car, sitting here for another 1 year, without actually letting you to drive, will you be able to drive? How to apply the clutch? Okay, definition. First you need to, take your left foot and then put your foot on the left, the clutch, right? If I give you the definitions and then ask you to write exams on that, how to apply brake, etc., you will do everything, but you will not be able to drive the car. So similarly, what we thought is that rather than giving some lectures on this topic, we thought of providing a workshop on that by creating some resources in the cloud itself and then understanding what is it. So it will not be kind of boring, kind of interactive as well, and also you'll learn about the concept, right? You should also know about some theory part, but doesn't mean that you should only focus on the theory. So that's the reason why we have thought like, we begin with this. So kindly please join, you put your names. Aman has joined, Malini. Who is Singh? Swag. Siddharth Shetty, Siddhant. Okay. 32 players, 34, 35, 37, 38, 39, 40, 42. I heard the 48 people are there, right? 44, 46. 2 people are not joined. Who is that? 43. Again, somebody left, I think. Okay, we'll start. What comes to your mind when you think of cloud? What is it? What comes to your mind? Answer frankly. Okay? So you don't need to tell that. Let's see who thinks what. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll come to know. Many people think that rain. 25 people think about rain. But the actual answer is, okay, we are here to talk about technology. Okay? But it's not your mistake. The cloud is actually, you should think about rain. That's the right way. So, what is cloud actually? Think of cloud in the technology terminology. The cloud as usual, without technology, forget about technology. Cloud is something that resides on top and which keeps moving, right? So in technological terms, think of cloud as a vast collection of powerful computers and servers located in various data centers around the world. Okay? These servers are connected to internet and can store and process huge amount of data. Can store and process. Okay, it's like you having your computer, a virtual computer in somewhere residing in far away, okay, but you have access to that via internet. That's all. Okay, now think that today you're carrying your laptop of some 4 GB memory, okay, but you have a cloud machine purchased which is having 16 GB of memory, the RAM, as well as it has got a very good processing capacity. So using your small laptop which is having less processing capacity as well as 4 GB RAM, if you have internet connection, you can connect to 16 GB RAM machine residing in cloud and then perform lot of things. Okay, so that's what you have to think about. It's just about the machines which is residing in various data centers. Since you don't know where your machine resides, okay, people call it as cloud. It can exist today in South Asia. Tomorrow your resource may not be in South Asia, it may be somewhere else. It may be where in the, I'm not sure about, you heard about Microsoft recently had one of the data centers drowned in the ocean. They were keeping the data center in the middle of ocean to avoid the heat or heat generation. Okay, so that means your resource, what has been created in virtual machine or whatever the virtual machine or whatever the resource that you may create is going to be available in the middle of the sea for you. Okay, so that's how it is. So cloud is like that. You can think about it. So what made cloud so popular? Please understand that. If you watch a movie today, which one of the following options will you use? Right? So earlier we used hard disk and CD. When we were engineers, there was a very big, very famous site called Torrents, I believe. I'm not sure if you have heard. You guys were kind of. And now nobody uses it to download movie. I'm sure. And my friends used to give me a bunch of pen drives which is filled in with movies. So what we used to do, we used to carry that pen drive. Sometimes pen drives were not enough, so we purchased hard disks and we carried loads of movies and games. But now, if I ask any engineering students, will they use pen drives to watch movie? No, very rare, correct? You have Amazon Prime, Netflix, what else? Hotstar, yeah. So OTT platform is the right one. So see, earlier what happened is, it is you before cloud technology, everything was in your machine, movies or songs or documents, everything. Okay, and you can see the size of this machine. I mean, just to help you to understand that, the storage was huge in your machine and it was hanging sometimes, right? So you are struggling with your own machine. Please, all of you look at my screen kindly. It will not take much time, because if you don't understand this part, probably the next workshop is going to be very difficult, right? I know that it is important to drive a car to understand how to drive the car, but also it's important to know what is steering, what is clutch and all also, right? So let's get into that. So movies and songs and documents and all storing. Now after cloud technology, you have a simple laptop where movies and documents and songs, everything is there in the cloud. With the help of internet, you can access that, right? Yes or no? So that is what the cloud enables you. This is one of the, in the previous scenario, what you have actually delegated, what you have actually left it to the cloud. In this case, yes, very good, 100% people say that the storage is something that we have left it to the cloud, correct? No? Because your movies, songs and then other things, games, etc. is nothing but it consumes space. So you don't want to store that in your memory, in your laptop, rather you want it to store in cloud. So you have done that. Now in the second use case, let's say skilled professional who is an accountant. An accountant has a laptop with less processing capacity. Please understand, he has got a very less processing capacity machine. He has a software which performs certain heavy logic. Okay, but when he performs that logic, that his machine hangs for a while because of the performance. The logic is so huge. So the accountant purchased a cloud machine with high processing capacity and decided to run the software in the cloud machine he recently purchased. With the help of a developer, he arranged the software in such a way that the software backend logic is performed in the cloud, but the output of the software is there available in his own laptop. In this case, have you understood this use case? Accountant was facing an issue with his software as well as his machine. It was hanging, so he purchased a cloud machine, and what he did, he hired a software developer, managed to have his software in such a way that the back end of the software, which performs a huge logic, is residing in the cloud, whereas the reports and all other things are available in his machine. In this case, what he has delegated? In this case, what he has delegated? Please let me know. What he has delegated? Okay, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. So it is a computation that he has delegated. Storage, it is not the right answer because he is not bothered about the storage. His problem was the computing, right? It is a big logic that his software is performing and then it was hanging. So he wanted to delegate what? Computation. Okay? And that's the reason. These are the scenarios where individual people wanted to delegate. Some people wanted to delegate storage. Some people wanted to delegate computation. Some people wanted to delegate database. Database is also kind of a storage, but yeah, it is in a different way it is being stored. So some people wanted to delegate the storage. So what cloud people thought, okay, there are a lot of people who want to delegate a lot of things. So let me offer some of the services which is going to help. So one is the storage service it offered. Okay, you want to delegate your movies and all the storage. Okay, I as a cloud provider, I offer you storage service. Second, computation service. You want to delegate your computation. I offer you computation as well. Okay, and database service. You want to delegate database. I will offer you database service. Network service and big data analytics. Now recently they even offer AI services, artificial intelligence services. All those things are there available in cloud. Okay, these are the services offered. But when they offer it, they offered in a certain way. Okay, think that the accountant wanted to, okay, you wanted to store the files, you wanted to store the movies in the cloud, correct? Now what you do is, in order to store the movies and songs, etc., you will purchase, there are multiple approaches. You will purchase a virtual machine, literally another machine in the cloud. Think that you are purchasing another computer in the cloud. Now what happens when you purchase another machine in the cloud just for the sake of storing your movies? What happens is you are responsible for maintaining that machine, correct? No? See, think that tomorrow operating system update is there. You need to update your operating system. You need to update, if you need to install the antivirus software or something like that. You need to take care of everything in order to maintain that virtual machine. Understanding? You are able to understand? Okay. So this way, virtual machine just for the sake of storage, if you purchase a virtual machine, maintenance is huge. Okay guys? And that's the reason some people want to go, my job is to store movies. Why should I maintain the operating system or a machine in the cloud? This is not something that I wanted. My job is like, I will simply give you the files, you please store it. So the cloud providers thought, okay, this is the demand that is coming from the consumers. They don't want to handle this, all the infrastructures. They only want to store the documents or the files, etc. So that's the reason they provided these services in multiple categories. That is infrastructure as a service. That means, okay, I will give you the entire computer virtual machine. You take care of it. You store it, your movies, your songs, everything. But you are also responsible for managing the operating system, installing the antivirus software, maintaining the virtual machine, everything you are responsible. That is the infrastructure as a service. I will give you the infrastructure, you take care of it. This is the first category cloud services providers came up with. Understanding? Are you with me so far? Yes? Okay. Next is the platform as a service. Now some providers said that I don't want to maintain this operating system. I don't want to maintain antivirus software or something like that. Just for the sake of storing movies and songs, I don't want to maintain another machine. I want to simply have the storage provided by you. I will simply pass the movies and documents to you. You store it. Okay, you take care of the operating system. That's where the platform as a service came into picture, where they will provide some of the storage services such as Azure blobs and storages, etc. So this is a platform service. Now the software as a service. This is complete handover. Like they will not allow you to access the code and all. They will have a software and you will be able to utilize. One of the example for the software as a service is Microsoft Office 365. It is available for everybody. It is available. Same software, but you have a subscription. So these are the three categories they provided. Okay. Now computation services, if you look at it, virtual machine is an example for computation service. It is available as infrastructure as a service. It is also available as platform as a service. That is one of the example for that is app service. It is also available as a software as a service. If you look at the storage service also, it is available as an infrastructure service, platform as a service, software as a service. So popular cloud service providers nowadays, who are they? One is Microsoft Azure. Anyone? Any next one? Anyone? Huh? AWS. Very good. The other one? Huh? Somebody said that. Google Cloud. Very good. These are the main famous software service providers. So what are we going to do today? We cannot explore everything at one shot, right? So let's take what we are going to do is today we're going to explore what? Microsoft Azure. That's my favorite, and Microsoft is investing its all resources in the right direction. And being a Microsoft stack company, we are very much proud that we are Microsoft stack company. We use Microsoft technologies to develop applications for our customers. So just wanted to introduce ourselves. We are from Skillhouse. It's also a subsidiary, or it's also a partner company of a software company called Icon. So what we do is that we approach various colleges and we train them on various technologies, and also we provide some of the workshops and then talks, etc. On top of it, we also provide some of the courses, which is kind of full stack courses, okay, where you'll be able to understand the coding. How do you code? Like in a software company, what developers actually do, if you compare with them, what you do here, it's like a lot of difference, right? What we do in the engineering colleges, we try to reverse a string, correct? Right? Correct, no? So if you reverse a string, will anybody pay you? Okay, but still we try to reverse a string in colleges. But that's the basic thing that is very important. But actually in software companies, it's not just reversing a string or finding whether a string is a palindrome or not. Client doesn't want you to find whether a string is palindrome or not. They want to solve you a problem. So for that reason, full stack course is very much necessary. So we provide that as well. Okay. Now, what we're going to do in this workshop, coming back, we're going to create a computation service. As I said, virtual machine is a computational service, which is infrastructure as a service, provided as an infrastructure as a service. So what are we going to do? We are going to create virtual machine in this workshop. We're also going to create a computation service which is available as platform as a service, PaaS we call it as. We are also going to do a database service and deploy a demo web API to app service we created. So the last one, based on the time availability, I will let you know. Otherwise, we are going to definitely do these first three parts and the last one also if time permits. So we are left out with another 40 minutes. Okay. So we'll get started with the workshop. All of you open your Microsoft Azure portal. How do you go to Microsoft portal? portal.azure.com. Please go there. I mean, if you have already seen the dashboard, don't need to do this step again. In my case, it is going to be different, okay? So since you are students, your subscription is different. So you don't need to necessarily follow my steps here. Okay, I'm in Azure now. All of you are able to see the screen, correct? Now please create a resource. Click on this, create a resource. Okay, now please understand, look at me. Look, let's stop working on your machine. Please concentrate here. What I'm going to say is, this portal.azure.com is from Microsoft Azure, correct? Now, why this portal is required? Can anyone let me know why this portal is required? Because as I said, cloud providers, you don't have direct contact. Can you phone them and then say, hey, create me a virtual machine? No? Can you? No, right? So that's the reason you need a portal. Even if they allow you to telephone, but lakhs of people if they call, they may not remember who is calling, which machine belongs to whom, etc. So that's the reason they created a portal. That's all. This is just an interface. Okay? So here, if you want to create a resource, you need to log in. You should have a subscription. They will not allow you to create anything for free. Free they will allow for, since you guys are students, they are allowing you without spending. You have now 8,000 rupees in your pocket. $100 into somewhat 80 rupees. Okay, but the thing is that if you create one costly resource, it will go away in 2 days or 3 days. Okay, so there are very big resources also, there are some free resources. You should be aware of all those things. Now the one which you are going to create, we are going to immediately delete it after some time. Okay, because I don't want to kind of take lower your credits. Otherwise what happens is by tomorrow when you wake up it will be gone, right? So that's the reason we should delete it. So this portal will allow us to create resource by ourselves. It's a self-service. Okay, you're not calling or you're not ordering them. You're going to a hotel and you're buying a coupon and then going to a kitchen and then showing this, I bought idli vada, you please give me that. Okay, so it's a self-service. So you're going to the portal.azure.com and then you're creating the resource that you're looking for. Now I create a resource, here it will not show me infrastructure as a service, all those things, because I am a knowledgeable person. I should be knowing, okay, virtual machine is a infrastructure as a service. App service is a platform as a service. That I should be knowing as a developer. Usually this process will be done by not directly the customer. Please understand that. As a developer, you are going to do on customer's behalf. They are going to purchase license. Who is going to pay? Who is going to pay? Client is going to pay, don't worry. But they will give you the subscription access. You're going to log in and then you're going to create a resource for them on their behalf. So you will be knowing what is infrastructure as a service, what is platform as a service, all those things you'll be knowing. So now what we're going to create is infrastructure as a service. I'm going to create this virtual machine, create here. All of you do that. Okay, the subscription, in my case it is Skillhouse, in your case it is education, correct? Can you see the education subscription? Azure for yes, Azure for students. Okay, the resource group, you can create a new one. I am also going to create a new one. So this resource group is an important concept in Azure, guys. Just to club the resources together. So I'll call this is a workshop resource group from Skillhouse. Workshop. Done. Okay. Now virtual machine name. What do you want to give your name? You can give your own name. Okay. Or you can give anything. You can, in my case, I will give it as, Alva's workshop. This is my machine name. Okay. In your case, it can be anything. Okay, now I set the data center, correct? Okay, you have selected the machine name, all of you? Done? Done? Selected the machine name. Now the second thing is that the region. This is where I said the data center. This is where the actual cloud comes into picture. You may store somewhere in Kolkata. Your virtual machine can be there somewhere in South Asia, somewhere in China, somewhere in East US also. You don't know. So for that reason, it will allow you to select the region. Where do you want your machine to be? Okay. So in this case, I am going to select South India. In your case, you can select East US or East US also you can select. Can you select East US or South India? Done. Okay. Now, what is the image that you want? You want a Windows machine or Ubuntu machine? Windows, correct? So I will select the Windows. I am interested in Windows 11 Pro because I have not experienced it so far. So I will select the Windows 11 Pro. So you will have to select Windows Pro. Okay. VM architecture 64-bit. Size is okay now. The username and then password. That is up to you, right? What username you want to give. In my case, I will simply say it as temp user. because I'm going to anyhow delete this. And the password, I will call it as capital A Q, capital S W, capital D E @123. What is it? In my case, the password is capital A Q S W D A E @123. In your case, you can select anything. I'll paste it here. Okay, it requires one more 4, 5, 6 also I'll add. Okay. Now inbound port rules. Allow selected inbound RDP, remote desktop. This should be available so that you can log in. Okay. I confirm I have eligible Windows 11 license on the multi-node hosting drives. Say licensing. Okay, disks. I would suggest you to review and create now. So what you need to do, you need to go to the resource and you should click on connect, download RDP file, save the RDP file somewhere in the desktop or wherever, or the download section. Double click on that, click on that RDP. It will ask you the firewall option. You can connect. Now enter the username and password. Okay, what is the username? I gave temp user here. The password that I gave is this one. Click on connect. It will ask you again one more option, the remote desktop connection. The certificate, you can click on yes. Can you see this mesh now? This is a new machine that is allocated to me with the temp user, and then this is Windows 11 machine. What I have is Windows 10 in my laptop. This is a new virtual machine. Is that clear? We have another 15 minutes left. So we trust in that concept. By practically doing it, you will be able to clearly understand it really well. So with that notation, with that program, what we have done is that we have created a lot of programs in our Skillhouse. One is the talk that is free of cost, and the workshops that we are already doing. The third thing is that we have some courses, which is Microsoft full stack course. What we do is that we teach you Angular, we teach you Web API, we also teach you on SQL Server and the basics of programming, C#, etc., and help you to create one of the project on your own. Okay, and these are all things that are done by the industry professionals, and this is done 1 hour per day. If you spend 60 minutes per day, okay, please understand that you are going to be an engineer. If you have a project to be done tomorrow, right, if you start preparing 1 week before, then it's not going to be helpful. Even if you go to spend 24 hours per day, it's not going to be possible. So you need to spend consistently at least 4-5 months with us to understand what we do in software companies. If you really understand that, it is going to be very easy for you to face the interviews and campus interviews. When somebody asks you some questions about what you have done, you will be able to clearly explain. So these are the things that you'll get. The only thing is that you need to spend 60 minutes per day, okay, and you should have a very good internet connection, as well as you should have some good softwares, I mean the good configured machine, and we are going to help you to create. We are going to also inform you about the GitHub, all those things, how do you create a pull request, everything. Whatever happens in a software company to create a project, everything will be taught in that program. Okay, if you are if you are interested, you can contact. There is a number is also there. It is also web application. The register URL is also there, so you can contact.